Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 2nd to the 8th of December 2013. We begin the week on Tuesday with a new moon in Sagittarius. It's been an incredibly long period of Scorpio. I know that sounds crazy because Scorpio should be a set amount of time, but we have actually had so much activity going on in that sign. We had a dark moon at Halloween. We've had Saturn there for a couple of years, really teaching us to structure our subconscious and to take responsibility for fighting our own demons and facing our shadow side. And then we had Mercury retrograding in that sign as well, which has brought up so much for inspection. So by the time we get to Tuesday and the new moon in Sagittarius, this is really the end of that period. So this is actually a time to celebrate. There's going to be a 2-week window, as with all new moons, where we can indulge in the Sagittarian energy and actually let the festivities begin for the Yuletide winter solstice festival. So a new moon in Sagittarius, that's sun and moon in the same sign. Sagittarius is the shaman. This is the Father Christmas myth with the shamans that used to eat the magic mushrooms, and then the reindeers would take them flying around the world. This is the red cap and white beard of Santa's outfit. This is the sage Atarius, so this is the wisdom of the ancestors, and this is a time when it's old fire, so we gather round the hearth fire and actually stare into the flames and tell stories and share food. So there's a generosity and an ancestral spark connection and a wisdom that comes in with this sign. And then obviously at the winter solstice, when the sun is reborn, there's that new optimism and hope and sovereignty. So that's the general energy of Sagittarius, and if there's anything that you want to actually initiate during this 2-week period, it could be a new course of study. It could be to go deeper. It could be to do your family tree or connect to your roots more profoundly. Or it could just be to bring out your own inner sage in whichever way you want, and your own generosity and your own optimism. But this is a lovely 2-week window taking us almost to the winter solstice, so it's kind of all go from here. On Friday the 5th we have Mercury joining Sagittarius as well, so it really does get lively. And as we know, Mercury is how we process our thoughts and what we do with our thoughts, where our inspiration comes from, and then how we speak and write. So obviously Mercury in Sagittarius, there could be some wisdom that's worth recording, either vocally or in script, because there's actually a really nice combination there with the communicator and the broadcaster together. Also favours long distance travel, so for anyone that's travelling for the holidays, we've had a few years where there's been a Mercury retrograde phase messing up airports and train systems and ports and things like that, but this year you've actually got Mercury in Sagittarius, so that is actually going to be quite an easy run up. And then by the time we get to the solstice, Mercury jumps into Capricorn a little bit later. So I think this will actually be quite a good one for getting about, seeing people, reconnecting, and generally preparing for the festive period again. Then by Sunday we have Mars moving into Libra. And Mars has been in Virgo for a while. We've had that super productive energy. Some people may have burnt themselves out. Others may have had to realign their soul drive with what is productivity, what is the harvest that you want to reap at the end of your labours. So now Mars goes into Libra, and this is obviously opposite its own sign because Mars normally rules Aries. So Mars is the soulful warrior. It's where we take our sun, life force energy, and direct it. And Libra is the balance. Libra is the you and me, the higher and lower, the inner and outer, the sun setting on the horizon. But it's to do with harmony and balance, grace and perspective. So it's the mirror of the soul. So if the soul warrior looks into the mirror of the soul, after all of this cleansing that we've been doing in the Scorpio energies, then hopefully you'll like the look of the reflection that you see. This will be very piercing for relationships, but quite truthful and balancing. So there's a masculine and feminine. Mars is masculine and Libra has a feminine energy as it's ruled by Venus. So we have that balance of masculine and feminine, but hopefully there'll be an equilibrium that comes in at this point. There'll be some kind of reflectiveness that shows us our grace, our beauty, and our relationship with ourselves purified and uplifted since all that shadow work in Scorpio. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week.